I heard this story when I was young, when I was staring at a certain flower, and I asked, what is that flower? It looks like a star. And they told me this story, and I'll share it with you today. They say that a long time ago, the people were given very specific instructions on how to treat each other. They were to be kind and generous. They were to make sure that they never had more than anybody else, and that they had to share everything that they had with everything, and that those were the natural laws to live here on earth. And one time, the village people started to get greedy, and they started to take more than what was needed, and they stopped sharing. And there was a family that was being neglected, and it was a single mom with 3 kids. And they say that the people stopped giving her food, and she couldn't hunt because she had to look after her little ones. And so they started to go hungry, and their ribs started to stick out. They were getting so hungry, but people ignored them. And they say that one of the daughters told their mom, I think that I'm going to leave so that there'll be more food for you guys. And the mom said, no, don't leave. And one of the other sisters heard her say that. And so she thought, I don't want my sister to leave because she's going to perish in the forest. I'll go. And so in the middle of the night, one of the sisters left, thinking that if they left, the others wouldn't be under so much burden to get food. And she went into the darkness. And she laid under this tree, and all of a sudden the stars dropped to where she was. And they told her, we've seen what was happening in your village and how the people were starving you. And we've decided to take you up to the stars and to give you a big feast. And they did. They took her all the way up. And she went straight up into the sky world. And there was a great big feast. And every kind of food that you can think of was there. And they fed her really good. And they asked her, what do you want us to do with you now? Do you want to go back? Do you want to stay here? She goes, I want to go back. She says, but not to my village. And so they said, okay. And they lowered her down to earth. And when they lowered her, they turned her into a flower, which is known as the star flower. And they say that how you use that flower is that you'll pick it and dry it. And then you'll smoke it in your pipe. And you'll blow that smoke out. And that smoke, it'll start to travel. And it'll find its way to an animal. And that animal will know to turn around and go to that person. And so we use it as a hunting medicine to provide food and nourishment to single moms. And that's our origin story for that flower.